you want to start off?
Sure. Hello there. I'm Seb Summers.
And I'm Guy Tallett.
Cool. We're the
Writers, directors of Scream.
Yeah, writers, directors, and I'm also an actor of Scream. I play Mike.
And I'm director, writer, producer, editor. What else? Cameraman.
Lots of stuff.
We're lots of stuff.
Yeah,
at the
I'm
moment.
director, co-writer as well.
And it is January the 20th, 2013. So this is how long it's taking us to make the film.
We started production June last year?
We started production August last year.
Yeah, August.
And we cancelled it.
Because of people being very unreliable, things like that.
Yeah, it was mainly the director's fault. You know, because he got a new job and everything, so...
Yep.
And then the college was being a bit
yeah,
unpredictable.
The ironic thing is about that the college apparently do not want to be, you know, involved in a whole supporting horror film franchise, but all the film studies and media students are allowed to do horror films anyway.
Yeah.
As part of coursework, so that didn't make any sense to me, so that left everyone really ticked off.
So if you've seen the trailer to the Stalker remake that I did, that was my original idea. That was filmed in college. I didn't get told off once for that. And
it's all anarchy. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
But I think we finally got onto something now. It's taken a lot more planning than the first time we tried to do it.
Yeah, and a lot more redrafts.
Indeed.
I mean, remember scene 2? We were gonna have like police
press, the whole deal.
Yeah,
yeah.
That didn't exactly work well. I think we did a very good job on the last shoot. You're probably seeing an image of the video right now.
Yeah.
Of what we did.
Yeah, but basically, I think in this video you're watching now, we're just going to explain each scene very roughly, why we've been keeping it a secret, and just what you will expect, or what's coming, I suppose. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to go check Pete's because it sounds like it's burning. Got it?
Yes,
Got it.
this is a very serious matter.
Yes, it is. Right.
Very fucking hot.
So basically, what we're going to do is first, what should we talk about? Each scene?
Why we kept it a secret for so long.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay, the reason we kept it a secret for so long is because most of you know that my channel is mainly Doctor Who related, and obviously you guys won't like the new horror stuff that's coming out. So I created a channel called Cornish Cult Films along with a few mates of mine back in April, and that channel's now my main sort of like priority.
Yeah.
So I watched Scream because I always meant to watch it, and I thought I could make a film on this, and
Here we are.
So here we are.
Oh. So also basically a bit of an introduction to because I think maybe you've seen my channel, The Leaping Brothers. It's very, very different to what Guy has been doing, and to what Ben. I don't know if the Ben Wardy, his channel. We have an association with him in this whole film, and this guy's channel and his channel and my channel, they're all completely different. Guy's channel focusing on more films like A Nightmare on Elm Street and different franchises he's based his own stuff on, and Ben's channel is more like sketches and comedy videos, and mine, it's...
Yeah, that was funny.
Which video?
Did you see the Hangover video?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
It's quite good actually, yeah. We'll put the link somewhere, there maybe. And then the link to my channel, just here. And then the link...
In my face?
Yes.
Thanks.
Or just there. And
maybe the whole screen.
maybe the whole screen, why not? And my channel, it's a little bit like... Because we have another person... I have another person working with me called George. He's my brother. Makes sense. My channel's called The Leaping Brothers. But yeah, me and him, and sometimes my other brother who lives somewhere else. We make videos which are of mixed genres. Sometimes it's comedy. Sometimes they're fairly serious with a mixture of comedy. But a lot of the time it's just full-length films with comedic aspects or dramatic aspects. So we thought all three of those combined. Your franchise approaches, his comedic aspects and my dramatic / comedic aspects could come together and make this really good film. And I think it's working so far.
It's working so far in the respect that we've I did a draft originally for the there was this film I had planned before Scream called Stalker, which is kind of taking on from the basis of Scream. But the intro seemed very Scream-like, so I then wrote a script for just one opening scene, because I was going to do that at one point. And I spoke to someone, one of my friends, she's called Megan.
Oh yeah.
And she said, oh, why don't you make a full film? I was like, well, it'll be too challenging. She goes, well, you need to outdo yourself somehow, sort of thing. And so I wrote an intro for Scream, sent it. Who did I send it to first?
What, to Jasmine?
I sent it to Jasmine first, I think, who's playing the opening lead girl. Spoilers. But yeah, so the original opening was meant to be a couple sitting watching a horror film, which is different to the other Scream films because they always start off with a big threatening phone call, or it starts off in the second one. It starts off in the cinema and there's a couple watching it.
Interesting. So basically, I think the bottom line is with the whole story and different twists we're doing, we're trying to make something that's still keeps the certain traits or characteristics, if you want to call it, of Scream, but changing it in a way that makes it unique to our filmmaking.
And it's not a remake.
It's not a remake.
We hate remakes.
Hence the 5 in the title.
Yeah. Maybe we should just call it Scream Fan Film, or no, Scream 5. Every time someone's seen the new titles, I think I got one YouTuber, I put test Scream 5 and he said, 5 cream sounds delicious.
5 cream, oh Jesus. But yeah, we're thinking of either replacing the S with a 5. For example, Scream 4, where they replace the A with a 4.
Yeah.
That whole thing. Scream 4 even, yeah, sorry, I don't know why I said that. And we're either going to do that with the S, or put the 5 behind the Scream, possibly. We don't know, we need to get some feedback on that, really. Okay, but anyway, let's get on with explaining scenes and what's going to happen.
Can't give it too much away.
Well, obviously we're not going to give out the whole. We're not going to say this person dies. I'm not planning on doing that.
No.
It's going to be simply, what's going to happen.
Scene 1 has gone through more rewrites than anything else.
It's
trying to make you guys.
Insane.
It's trying to make you guys scared and think, whoa, this was brilliantly written and brilliantly filmed. Because someone walking outside. Anyway, I'm easily distracted. But it's trying to keep you guys interested as an audience, because there's nothing worse than anyone looking at the video and going, "That shit." I mean, that's not right, or
you can swear. I don't give
or anything like that. Saying it's rubbish or anything like that, because that's one thing we don't want. We're trying to make everything tie into itself, character building, everything like that. So in scene 1, we want to shock you.
Okay.
Big time. We wanted to make you think.
Yeah, we just want to.
Oh my god, this is not a fan film.
Sort of like the same reaction that we got from the first Scream, where we want to give the same sort of response. We want to get the same response from the audience that they got from when they saw Drew Barrymore dead hanging from a tree. It's like we want to give that same shock factor, otherwise we honestly just don't feel we've done well enough, I suppose.
I mean, if you look at Nightmare on Elm Street, I think most people are like, yeah, this is good. And there's me watching thinking, I could have done way better.
But at the end of the day, as I'm going to say it, we're amateurs.
Amateur filmers.
It's we can't really make something that's going to look as good as Scream. It's inevitable, but we can't not try.
I mean, in this film, I've gone up my way here a lot. I mean, in one of the scenes I had to get these panther lights in and constantly move them around to make it look like it was morning. When we were filming like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
There's little things like that, because a lot of the time actors and producers for it, sometimes they just don't want to get out of bed. Specifically Ben. But
I think we did well getting him up at about 12 o'clock in the morning to do your scene.
Yeah, that was some determination right there.
Yeah. I mean, we've got some great actors. I mean, Ben Ward is back in another video. He played Drake in Nightmare on Elm Street and got killed off very quickly.
He still did it, which is good.
Still did it. Brilliant actor, I think. Most people diss his acting, but when I see him do his character's called Willis. I can give you that. You know, I can tell you that he's a chilled, relaxed guy in this film.
He's the typical, you know, sort of
asshole stoner.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
That's the way. I didn't mean to write him that way. I didn't mean to write the character. Willis was meant to be the guy who survives in the end of the film until we introduced another character called.
It's always chopping and changing this thing.
Mm.
But just while we're on the subject of characters, I just thought I might go through them really. So we got Bella, who's she being played by? It's been changed so many times. Her.
First it was Molly.
Yes. Then it was going to be Yaz, wasn't it?
Then it was going to be Jasmine Pepper.
Oh, Jazz.
Then it was going to be Beth.
Yep. And then now it's Misha, isn't it?
Now it's Misha, who's gladly.
Is she going to do it? Is she?
Yeah,
okay.
she's still good. Who's gladly wanted to help us.
And then we got Violet, who was originally going to be played by Beth, but then she dropped out
because of work issues, which is
other random crap. And so we brought in Yaz Brooks, who was originally she was going to play Grace Anderson, the reporter for the murders that happened during college time, and they and I think she's we've done part of scene 1 first, where they're all waking up, a typical waking up teen scene, and it's looking really good, and she's a brilliant actress for it all, definitely. So I don't think we have an issue with her there.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Then we got we've got Grace Anderson, who's still at the moment we're unsure about who's playing her really.
That's Tuesday playing her for sure, I think.
For sure now, is it?
For sure, I think, yeah.
Okay.
And it's just a matter of catching everyone after their A-level exams. So yeah, this shows how long or how old this video is going to be by the time it gets released.
Yeah.
Might be released tonight. Might be released 7 months down the line.
Ooh, maybe. And so then we move on to the male characters. We've got what's his face? Oh yeah, we got Mike, who's played by me. I just want to go ahead and say I'm a brilliant actor for it. No, I'm joking. Mike, he's a character that's
I guess
I'm going to go ahead and say it. People will find him fucking annoying. I think he's one of those characters that you're just like, stop being such a pussy and get on with it. I think.
The way I see Mike is, see him as myself. Yeah, the nice guy.
Yeah, he's a typical nice guy, but he's also got an attitude that's just a bit like, why are you such a dick sometimes? Which I suppose is stereotypical and it's needed. Let me give you an example, right? This is a little clip from when he's having a massive row with Willis.
Willis, what are you doing here? Oh man, the place to crash. No, sorry, you can't keep getting stoned and coming into my house and crashing here. Why is that not?
Okay.
So yeah, in that scene, he's having a go at Willis for crashing at his house. I mean,
it's what friends do, but he just doesn't like it. And I suppose sometimes it's good to let that happen, but I think our ideas were to paint Mike first off as a stubborn character, which then through the film starts to become looser, and he's got more character than we first figured, and can be funny, I suppose.
He is funny. You see him in the first scene. You know, he's brushing his teeth and he walks off on the thing.
Yeah, that was quite fun. That was quite fun.
That was improvised. I mean, there I am behind the set or the camera. No, it wasn't behind the camera. It was beside the camera because the mirror's there and the camera's there. I couldn't be behind it or anything because it's small spaces. But it's funny just working with this one because this guy here, you know, he does quirky stuff. You know, it's stuff that's golden sometimes, you know, some stuff you can't quite believe. It's like when he goes and shaves his beard, you know, most guys will do that and think nothing of it, but him, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, it's just,
you know.
I mean, like if we should show you that quickly.
Oh! Oh! God, you plastic coated little bastard!
So basically that scene you just saw of me shaving there, it's basically, I suppose it can kind of be interpreted as a foreshadowing of, like, the idea of having knives in the film, really. The idea of being scared that you're going to get cut can foreshadow the later fear of the characters being scared they're going to get stabbed. So it's just little things like that. We didn't even know at first, so then we realised they're completely interlinked, and we can and And the only way you can really see that is if someone tells you, which is what we're doing today.
I can tell you one thing about Scream as well. I think this is one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go for it. Spoiler alert. Okay, you got anything in your ears?
Turn off your screens or click off this video right now if you don't want to hear the thing. But
Hiya. The camera kind of.
The camera's spooked out because obviously we're not allowed to reveal spoilers.
Spoilers. Yeah. So the camera kind of went memory card full, but so every now and then it might change slightly because we need to keep doing stuff, change the camera and things. But here we are.
Again. So we can't talk about spoilers. What can we talk about?
Oh yes, we were talking about characters, right? So yeah, we finished off saying what Mike was all about, but Willis.
This is a typical stoner.
Yes, typical stoner guy who played by Ben Ward, the funny one, and his character, it's kind of he's lovable, but he's also got an edge that's a bit like, you know,
His take version.
Yeah.
He actually his character takes the mick out of his friends a lot. And
yeah,
I showed Lorna one of the extras on screen of what Ben was like, and she goes, "He's such a lovable character.
exactly.
He's so funny. You know, we need." The trouble is with horror films these days, they've lost a funny side to it. They've lost a reality to it. They've got to have it scary all the time. They've got to have it blood and guts all the time now. I don't think it needs to be like that. You need a nice little balance, I think.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise it just becomes blood and guts and scary.
Which I suppose is sometimes, you know, what they want in horror films, but sometimes it needs a balance.
I
Especially
think you need a
Scream.
reality check in most horror films,
Yeah.
you know. Paranormal Activity, that was brilliant. You know, it scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, it wasn't very fun to watch the first time.
But then they make a sequel. And those of you who've watched Scream 1 and 2, you'll know that sequels suck. Which is kind of funny because we're making a sequel to a sequel.
To a sequel.
Yes, but our sequel will not suck.
No,
Like,
a sequel won't suck.
Paranormal Activity, they were really good. The first one, really good. Second one, third one, fourth one, they lost the plot.
Yeah, it kind of.
Scream, however, they lost the plot when they made Scream 3.
Scream 3 was the worst thing to ever be created in movie history.
Scream 4 was brilliant, I think.
Shit, it was awful.
What, Scream 4?
I haven't seen Scream 4.
I need to see
Scream 3.
Scream 4 is
Yeah, I need to see some Scream quickly. I've only seen Scream 1 and 3. So,
I'm passed out on Scream 2.
Yes!
Yeah.
Did you put on Scream 2?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Jesus, that must have been quite...
Go on.
yeah. Anyway, so Willis is, you know, you're right. So Willis is your typical lovable stoner character who, he's fun to be with and everything.
Fun to write.
Yes, very fun to write. Right, then we got Ben. Not Ben Wood. We got a character called Ben, played by Yahir Ahmed. And Yahir is funny, like.
But he's playing
funny.
If you've watched Scream, he's playing the Randy character.
Which is?
He's the guy who knows the rules of how to survive a horror movie.
Exactly. He's sort of the in between Willis and Mike. He's kind of the one who's got sense, but none of it at the same time. He knows all the rules, but he lives to break them. Yeah, sort of.
No, he stays by the rules.
Stays by the rules, but typically they still get broken.
But still, he breaks one of the rules, which is what's the first rule of surviving a horror movie? You must not drink or do drugs. Second rule of the horror movie, you never have sex.
And then the third rule is that you never say "I'll be right back."
Hey, I'll be right back.
Good use of context.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
///. So yeah, Ben's your typical movie nerd character, but he's very funny in it. He's sort of more on par with Willis's sort of characteristics in terms of like when he's around friends and stuff. Would you agree? Like, he's sort of, sort of a bit like, hey, what's up, rather than hello.
Yeah, he's a bit more...
He's
a
more...
bit like we are.
I suppose. But
I
yeah,
think we write him.
he's an interesting character, and there's a lot of mystery behind his backstory and what part he plays in Scream, but it's in writing, so we'll see where that goes. But those are pretty much most of the characters.
Yes, and then there's Rob the cameraman.
Oh, right, yeah.
Unfortunately, Rob the cameraman doesn't have much dialogue. He's more there for,
Grace's abuse.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
That's all the characters there is. There was a character called DCI Mills, who was played by Molly's dad, Paul Wilcox, and to be fair, he's actually quite good at acting.
Yeah, it's just the problem is the whole idea with having police, it just...
Complicates it.
It's complicated and it's difficult to make it, to give the characters as much freedom as they can, but it still be believable, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if something was to happen at college, I suppose the college would be shut down for a little while.
Exactly, not still have students roaming around, and that would be a problem when we're filming in there. So I think what we'll have to do is leave the police out, but have
insinuated.
Yeah, I think the thing is, the main bottom line is we don't need the police in the film to tell us the murders have happened, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we've already got Grace Anderson there to be the
complete bitch in the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going well. Bottom line is, basically, it's finally taken off. We've got a few scenes done and they're all going really, really well.
And the reason why we're taking our time on it is practically because we want to fool you and show that no matter how young you are, I mean, we're 17, going on 18 this year, and we're making a feature-length film. Ouch!
It's gonna be difficult, but it's on its way, and
it might be coming out in October, I think.
October, yeah. So this year, but yeah. So it was good to talk about it. I think we've
actually we haven't covered everything. What else were we going to talk about? Here's a quick trailer of what's to come, basically. We'll come back later, you know.
Yeah. Roll.
Hello?
Hello? What's your favorite scary movie?
So yes, that was the draft trailer, which was poorly made.
It was okay.
It's poorly made.
But basically it brings us on nicely to filming and what we're going to do, what we have done, queries, advantages and disadvantages of different locations and stuff, and of course potential delaying problems which could arise.
Right. Yeah. Right. Two scenes we've already done, which is the wake up scenes, and they were very easy to film. One of them I had to reshoot because of bad lighting. If you're ever making a film, make sure you've got really good lighting, because there's nothing worse than getting. You'll notice when you film in dark, you get this kind of noisy kind of overlay stuff over your footage, which means you're shooting at in very dark places and you can't see a thing, basically.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not nice at all. So if you're shooting in the dark, get as much light as you can, and also a bigger lens for your camera if you've got a DSLR or a photography camera that records as well, like I'm using at the moment.
So for Mike's wake up scene, which is a tiny little section of it, tiny.
What do you do at night? I don't understand it.
I don't know, can you pass me the lighter?
A light? What do you need a lighter for?
Nothing, man, I just need it, alright?
Fine.
In Mike's scene, basically, that was filmed from 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, it took a while, but the main reason it took so long was because for every shot we had 3 angles or so, and that's for every shot, which means
So it's my fault because I was saying, look, we're going to need to get every angle shot.
Exactly. So that's 3 shots for every line. So for one paragraph of me talking to Willis in this scene, that's 9 shots for one bit of speech, for one chunk.
And when editing it, the lines changed ever so slightly.
Yeah, it came out really well, but it was a big thing to do, and that's something which could potentially delay it. But I think if you get it done, it's obviously, you know, it's quicker then to become edited, but also it gives it higher quality and stuff, which is good. The only problem with it is that it does delay slightly.
Mike and Willis's scene was an alternate scene actually, because Willis is meant to wake up in his own house.
And then we were just on set, and I thought, hey guy, how about we just hide Willis in here so I can get up, turn off the sheet, and go, what the fuck are you doing here?
At
and he was
first-
like, no.
I was like, oh, but that's not in the script. But that's not going to go well at all.
And then we tried it,
and then I
it
was like,
it's perfect.
and I was like, all right, I'll give it. He twisted my arm round enough, going, go on, please, it'll be funny.
I didn't
It'll be
actually
funny,
grab
will
him
it?"
and go, "Grr, come on." But he
convinced me.
I
in that.
convinced him. which is
Convinced
good.
me in saying, come on, it'll be funny. You want funny in this film. You need funny in this kind of scene because we've just come up from a serious thing, so you need to do it.
So we gave it a go, and
I
worked.
edited 2 scenes together. I took the original scene that we did, and the feedback came back saying, well, this scene's quite funny, and I was like, okay, all right, I'll take your word for it. And then I watched it because, you know, I only edit the thing and don't watch it all the way through until I finished with it.
And that's when he realised, oh,
This is pretty good.
and there it is. So basically, with filming with that, you know, it included, like I said before, it included a lot of different shots to get the basic vibe and stuff, and different perspectives and stuff which you need in films. And it was the right time of day for lighting, which just looked sort of morning-y, which is why it was blue, I think. It was also colour saturation.
I forgot to white balance it.
It still worked because it was morning. But I think with the whole filming aspect, it's just, our problem is right time and the right place and the right people. People especially, like, we were going to do this one scene, and if one person doesn't turn up, the whole thing goes to shit.
And then someone like me, who does get very stressed very easily and very quickly. And then I think when we're filming one of the scenes, it was scene 2 from the last script, from the last scene that we did, and it was coming into the college, and it was very hot that day.
Oh, Jesus.
And
That was appalling weather.
And Ben was late.
Nice.
Yahir was late, and Yaz,
So
his brother, was late.
It delayed us
And
for
there are
nearly
people at the
2
college
hours.
already waiting for us, and that made me get a bit stressy a lot. So when filming in, I know probably out in Africa and America it's probably a bit hot, but for us we had a really big heat wave and we're boiling.
It was quite horrendous.
I mean, Seb's wearing jeans. Most people were wearing jeans. I was lucky enough to be wearing pleat quarter-lengths and a t-shirt.
Luckily.
The rest of the cast and crew were wearing jeans. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Sorry.
It was, and they were dark jeans, and I was wearing a dark shirt with a black bag. It was
Horrible.
absolutely horrible.
We were all ratty as well. There were some scenes where we were like, yeah, this is fun. But
And sometimes we were just like, for fuck's sake, I don't want to do this. And then
yeah,
it took a lot of convincing, but yeah.
I'm very good at convincing.
That's not with the a use of a knife or something. You will film for me. No.
You will act. You will do this. Nah.
But yeah.
But
So,
I think when it
yeah.
came down to lunchtime, everyone was like, yeah, we're cooled down now. Cause I think we went to McDonald's. Yeah, we went to McDonald's.
That was the only reason I really joined. Promise of McDonald's. Nah, I joke.
Yeah.
I joke.
And
Yeah.
nice Coke.
Well, another thing, like the last little bit about filming, while we still have 2 minutes 45.
2 minutes 45.
Before the camera screws us over again, we could, I suppose, talk about briefly the Yaz's scene.
Yaz's scene is filmed twice.
Filmed twice, and the first time it was because of lack of lighting. He actually got these big, what do they call these big ass lights?
Panther lights.
Panther lights, just to make it better. And I honestly, I thought it looked fine to start off with, but then I watched his newly edited one, like crisp lighting.
Yeah.
Now. It was near perfect. I think.
Obviously,
it
there's
was
a
very
little
good.
enhancement with effects. After Effects is brilliant for adjusting lighting. But there is going to be another reshoot at some point because I want to reshoot her coming out of the bedroom again. Because to me, you know, as a vision, if you're being a director, you have a certain vision of how things should look. I wanted to film it from an angle, and I didn't end up filming it as a panning motion. Didn't want to do that, so I'm going to either reshoot that specific part again, and plus when the door opens you can tell it's been lit, and that's one thing you don't want to see in a film. You don't want to see that your set's been lit falsely, you want to be fooled. And I think that's the problem with me, I'm a bit too much of a perfectionist when it comes to this kind of filming stuff.
Well,
he's going, "Oh, I'll be fine, I'll be fine." I'm like, "Oh, it's not fine."
Yeah, sometimes it's not. I'm not gonna lie.
Most of our chats with his about, "Oh, isn't that a bit too much?" No, it's not too much.
It's
like, yes, it is. No.
Sometimes I just don't want to go completely out of my way, but he convinced me otherwise, and and to be honest, a lot of the time it works out good.
It's like Misha's scene. We're going to need so many people on the thing. This is something really quickly for a minute or so, and I'm saying that I'm going to need lighting. I'm going to need a cinematographer. I'm going to need this, that, and the other.
I saw that list of roles to fill, and I was just like, what is going on here? And he was, it started to get professionally big, use big long words. So I was like, oh, okay. So
I'll do anything you want,
yeah,
you know.
So then so I offered to be the second camera operator for Misha's scene. Is it Misha's scene or?
Yeah, I'm going to
Jazz's
keep it down to one camera operator. I'm just getting camera operators ready for the thing.
Alright.
I can't say cameramen.
Is this the first scene?
Still for scene 1, yeah. Scene 2, act 1, yeah.
Okay, so that's what all the jobs were for?
Yeah.
Alright, yeah. So I'm a second camera operator for that, which not hard for me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I've got 4 cameramen on this film, and we're going to be using a single camera for this scene. Other scenes might be using multi-camera, but we're going to narrow it down to 1 camera. But everyone's going to have a go at camera operating.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to wrap up there now because we've only got 15 seconds left.
So thanks for watching our first vlog about Scream 5, and it should be done hopefully in a few months.
Yeah.
And
another quick thing, this is the biggest production we've ever done, and there's 5 production networks working on this, and we'd like to thank you all as an audience for taking your time to watch the film and watching this vlog, really.
Yeah, I mean
it's our first vlog for the first production role, so thank you for watching it. We really appreciate it.
Cool. Right. Peace out, guys.